Alright guys, this is the start of my latest week, and what I felt in order to really take you guys through my program and how, again, I'm going about it this time around, I wanted to share with you guys what a full week looks like. So today I had some plus sets on the front squats. I think it was 3 sets of 2, and then finally my all-out set. And this is my training partner quite frequently, Brian Miner, who is actually running a very similar split. We both kind of independently came up with very similar splits where, yeah, it's a lot of full body stuff and, again, a little bit of everything every day. Again, he is just coming off a more, I guess, a powerlifting specific block. So it's really kicking his butt these first few weeks, but honestly, he's doing much better than he was just 3 weeks ago, to tell you the truth. He doesn't quite feel that way, not used to squatting in that rep range, but yeah, things are definitely getting better for him. Me, I'm on the other side of things. I'm trying to get some of my top-end strength back. So this was 275, and again, I had 3 sets of 2, and then finally my big plus set. I wasn't too happy with my form today. I took 3 days off from weight training, and while I felt like really fresh and really recovered, just felt a bit lost in regards to just lost in the weight room. Just was not used to any kind of I was used to just sitting in the couch based on how these last few days went. So this was strange because, again, I felt weak, but then I would look at video and I'm like, I'm actually not doing so bad. So this was 275 for a set of 7, I believe I got, with 1 in the tank. So typically I'll try to stop with 1 rep in the tank. And again, it just felt worse than it looks. After the third one, I was pretty much like, wow, can I even get to 5? But again, I think Melissa was giving me positive feedback as I was going through this set, and usually she won't do that unless it's really earned. So yeah, we went for 7. So I was pretty pleased with this. I think typically, I'm able to, when my squat is on, I think maybe I can add another 3 or 4 reps to that. So we're pretty close, and the SI joint is feeling marvelous. And again, I think a lot of that had to do with the fact that I just kind of laid off the movements that were not helping it get any better. So we did some CO rows after that, which is another lift that is programmed. This is not what I would consider a secondary work, since I am very preoccupied with, preoccupied or occupied, either way, with putting more weight on this lift. I really want to break that 250-pound goal that I have of mine. I think I would like to get 250 for a triple at a certain point during this off season, and because of that, it is a lift that, again, I'm using percentages, and I'm sticking to a very, I guess, strategic load in regards to how I disperse the work, both in regards to percentage and how frequently. So I'm doing this lift quite often, sometimes up to 3 or 4 times a week, but I'm really controlling the intensity in a manner that I hope over time nets me just some bigger top end strength, which I think is going to help me just a great deal when it comes to, for sure, my back, which, again, I need to bring up, and then also with just other rowing type movements in the gym. So yeah, this is it's definitely a big priority to get this lift up there, just like it would be for a squat or a press or a deadlift. So this is definitely something that I'm being very detailed about when it comes to how I load it on a weekly basis. So yeah, it was 4 sets of 10 on this one. We did some overhead pressing, which the rack here is just more often than not filled up with all sorts of fellow meatheads at this point in time, and just because I don't want to disrupt anyone's mojo, I didn't film that. This is that is the one thing about this gym compared to my old gym. The other gym, it was very pro lifting, and I have a funny story for you guys, which I'll go over. Pro lifting and videotaping, rather. I'll go over a funny story that involves Matt Ogus at my old gym soon here. I would go over it now, but it kind of takes away from the limited footage I got today. So I did, again, I did overhead pressing, I did CO rows, I did my front squat. Those were the three main movements. Tomorrow I front squat again, by the way, but we'll get into that tomorrow. And then I did some secondary movements. What I did exactly, we will go over in a second here. And yeah, again, I think, as you can see, there's going to be a lot of rowing. I think I did this, and then I did some pull downs and some arm work, but for the most part it was a row dominant day, and typically I try to do that at the beginning of the week. I actually probably didn't do as much as I typically would like to do, but it was enough for today so that I don't fall behind early on in the week. And then after that we followed it up with some lateral raises, which you will see in a minute here. But yeah, I did quite a few things, and I think because I wasn't able to videotape everything, simply because, again, it was smack in the middle of the busiest time at this gym. I think what I'll do is at the end of this video just kind of go over what I have checked off in regards to my secondary work at this point during the week. So again, main movements we are looking to, I guess we're making our prime movers during this training block is going to be front squats, the dumbbell decline, the overhead press with a dumbbell, the CO row, and I do have a back squat in there as well, and also a barbell hip thrust. So those are the movements that I'm just kind of loading in a very strategic way, and then everything else is going to be secondary work, which again we'll go over how much we got done so far. We still have quite a bit to go, as you guys will see in a second here. All right, so based on what we did today, this is how much secondary work I will have left for this week. So we did 30 reps here, so now I only have 120, so we're not going to scratch that one off. And then I did my pull downs, of course. I did the chest press machine, so that's gone as well. And then I did some raises in the 12 to 15 rep range. What else I did? No, I did not do biceps. I did these ones, so that's long head, by the way. And then I did some leg curls. So that's about how much I have left this week. So again, just checking it off as I go. Pretty productive day all in all, but that first squat set definitely tapped me out, so we didn't get as much done as I would have liked.